Hey everybody, so I have been following the Trayvon Martin case just like the rest of you have, day by day, and basically getting more and more disgusted as the case goes on because like you guys all do feel, I am frustrated with the fact that Trayvon Martin, who was a 17-year-old boy who had walked to the store to get some candy and soda, basically has been shown no justice at all, as his murderer, George Zimmerman, has not been arrested for murdering this boy in cold blood. The reason cited was because he was acting in self-defense. Truthfully, you guys, I had planned on doing a video because I had faith that this police department was eventually going to arrest this Zimmerman guy. I mean, it had gone on long enough. The facts of the case, as we have seen it, have come out, and it just seemed logical that they would arrest this man. I really didn't feel that it would go on and on as it has, and I'll just tell you guys that I have a lot of feelings about this case, and you guys know me, and I try to be rational and I try to be fair in my videos, so I'm just gonna say that what I have to say in my video some of you guys might not like. First of all, what is there really to say, you guys? It's a travesty that this man is still walking around free. Trayvon was singled out, hunted down, and basically murdered for being a black boy on the street. Zimmerman was supposed to be the head of some neighborhood watch that wasn't even registered, or he wasn't the registered head of it, but he had some sort of rent-a-cop mentality where he felt like he needed to scope out and follow this kid because, you know, he looked like that he was up to no good. He overstepped. Really overstepped is honestly an understatement. He murdered this boy, murdered this kid who hadn't done anything, hadn't threatened the man, hadn't confronted the man, hadn't done anything to deserve what he got. You know, basically he murdered that boy in cold blood. I know you guys have all seen the news reports and everything, so I won't get into like the details of the case because it's just not no use of me going through all of that again. You guys all know exactly what's been going on. So after the boy was killed and more information was leaked out, and you know, we got to find out more and more about the case, it even makes the whole situation sadder. Like, they drug tested the boy, who is the murder victim. Remember, he's dead. Why drug test a dead kid? But obviously the police department was trying to cover up their ground when they drug tested him, because I felt like, I'm sure we all know that if they could say this kid had marijuana in his system, then that was why he was acting irrationally on the street, and this is why George Zimmerman felt that he was threatened and he had to kill him. But the kid didn't have any drugs in the system. I mean, when you guys see pictures of the kid, I mean, the kid is like squeaky clean. He doesn't even look like he would be in any kind of trouble. I mean, he doesn't even look 17. I look at the pictures, I was like, why are they showing all these older pictures of him? No, those are current pictures of this kid. Looks like he is not a threat. I mean, a hoodie, if a hoodie is what's gonna make you look like you are trouble, boy, we gonna be in a world of trouble, you guys. I can't even listen to the 911 calls because it just saddens me to think of what this kid felt the last few seconds of his life. I have a son that's going to be 13 years old next week, and you guys, I let my son go up and down my subdivision with no care, and during the summer months he'll be outside till 9 o'clock at night. You know, it doesn't get dark here in Atlanta till like 10 in the summer. And I let my son go and I don't worry about it. But this case has really brought that type of the feeling to me, like, oh my God, like when my son goes to his friend's house and he's in an unfamiliar neighborhood, do I now need to worry that somebody might shoot him? The reality is yes. And it's a sad, sad thought that that my child has to face this type of reality. And then the whole stand your ground law. Now, the stand your ground law is only in a few states. I think they said 16, and it's basically the law that says that if you perceive a threat, you are able to to use deadly force against someone, even instead of retreating. So instead of walking away, if you feel like there's a threat and there's a person in front of you threatening you and you perceive the threat, then you can kill them, basically. It's a stupid law because it's, to me, it's too gray. It's not defined enough, and it's too many gray areas for it, and that's why I believe only 16 states have it. I mean, they'd never have this law in Los Angeles. Never. It would never work. You know, with the gang violence there and the black on brown tensions, it would just never be a law that they could use in California. The problem with the law, in my opinion, is that is the word perception. What I perceive as a threat may not be the same as what you perceive as a threat. For example, I grew up in Los Angeles, 48th and Crenshaw, 8th Avenue, the Avenues, South Los Angeles. Not a terribly bad neighborhood, but obviously not the best neighborhood. I've seen many things happen. I've seen people get killed right in front of me. I've seen plenty of folks get shot right in front of me. I've seen these things happen. Still, it's my home. Like, when I go there, I don't feel threatened. I can stand outside and talk to my friends. I could go to the corner liquor store and walk in and walk back out. I could go out at night. I can come back at night. I just never feel, my perception is that I'm still safe because it's home. I've had friends that grew up not even 10 minutes away from me, maybe Windsor Hills or Baldwin Hills. Those of you from LA know what I'm talking about. And you know, their areas were, you know, better neighborhoods. So, you know, when they would come to my neighborhood, they were not always comfortable. And their perception was that over there in the avenues, there's a whole bunch of gangs and a whole bunch of shit going on. So, you know, I don't feel comfortable there. That's their perception. You know, when I go to my neighborhood and I see a group of guys standing out in front of my neighbor's house, you know, and they might be loud and boisterous and talking and everything, my perception is just they just hanging out and talking. My friend's perception from Baldwin Hills might be feeling like something's about to pop off over there. They're threatened. They feel like something's going to happen. That is the problem with the law there, the perception. That's why I feel like that law needs to be done away with. Now, with all that being said, I'm just going to tell you guys why I have like these feelings about this case. Yes, yes, yes. Zimmerman needs to be arrested. The police officers who botched the investigation need to be fired, and you know, if there was some criminal activity done in this investigation, then they need to be arrested. But I don't like to see all of the everything else that surrounds a case like this. First of all, I don't like to see people jumping on the bandwagon and using this case to further their own agenda. I wasn't going to do a video because I don't want people to just be watching my video. Yeah, I don't want to use this as some just for you to watch my video. I want people to understand the seriousness of a case like this and how there are some folks who use this situation to further their own agenda. That's why I cannot stomach Jesse Jackson, and I hope he doesn't show up on this case. I want to see black people get pissed off about all black kids that are getting murdered. Zimmerman definitely needs to be brought to justice in this case. That family needs the closure. But there are so many black kids that are killed, and the thing that frustrates me is that we as black people will jump all over the fact that this white man has killed this black boy, or this Mexican man, whatever he is, has killed this black boy. But what happens when the black people kill the black people? You know, it's like we don't even barely blink an eye. It's just so expected, and it's unfortunate. Trayvon needs to have his voice, yes, but so do the Antoines and the Derricks and the Christophers and the Jeffreys and the Marcuses and all the other black boys that are killed daily from another black person. We have to really get this kind of passion about everything, all the injustices that our black kids face. Our black kids face a lot, things that we never ever had to think about when we were younger. So I just want to say that black people, I don't want us to keep jumping on and off bandwagons. Stay on the bandwagon. If you're going to be a beacon for truth and justice, then be that way for all black kids and all the injustices that our children face every day. Fight for cleaning up corruption in some police departments. Fight for the justices of our black kids. It's my prayer that this family gets closure. It's my prayer that Zimmerman is brought to justice, and I'm not going to do another video about this. So God bless everybody. God bless us all. Until next time. time, Roxstars.